Hey gamers, if you have the mind of an architect and you think you have what it takes to make a castle fit for a king, then you might want to check out the blueprints of Mad King Ludwig. Let's check this one out and see how it plays. In this game, players will be drafting different room cards each round, which they will be putting into their plot sheet here. Their plot starts as a 9x9 grid, but they will be able to extend it a little bit as they complete certain types of room throughout the game. When they draw in their rooms, they must connect at least one doorway, but they can leave the other doorways blocked off or just leave them open to hopefully connect later on. As players finish different types of rooms, they can earn different bonuses depending on what kind of room that is. So they might earn extra turns or other bonuses such as removing doors or moving doors on rooms that they draw later. Some bonuses must be used immediately while others can be used in the future when the player finds them more appropriate. Cards will tell players what type of room they are drawing as well as what size it is, which will matter for certain endgame bonuses and for points at the end of the game. The game does last for 10 rounds, at the end of which players will earn points for all of the rooms that they have drawn, all the rooms that they have completed, and if they qualify, they'll earn points for various bonus cards they may have gotten throughout the game, as well as King's Favor tiles. The player with the most points at the end of the game wins. Overall, I thought that this game was pretty alright. Compared to Castles of Mad King Ludwig, it has a lot of the same similarities where you're just growing your castle and putting all the rooms next to each other in order to try and get bonuses, but it takes out that kind of money manipulation aspect, which actually I'm not a big fan of, so I liked that that wasn't in this game. You're not pricing the different cards to choose your rooms, and you're not dealing with any money back and forth between players. So if you like that element of castles, then you might not like this because this does kind of strip out a little bit of the strategy from the original game. But if you're not a big fan of that like I wasn't, then you might think that this one's pretty good. As a standalone game and just this kind of drafting and drawing game, again, it's pretty alright. It doesn't do anything super new aside from the see-through paper, which I am a big fan of because it does allow you to see where rooms fit, how you want to rotate them, and how much room you'll have after you put them in, which is really nice so that you can kind of prepare for your future turns without having to draw the shape and then be disappointed it didn't fit how you thought it was going to. I'm bad at drawing, so I did definitely appreciate that aspect. But I also thought that the game ran a little bit long for what it is. It takes a little bit longer than some other types of this game where you're drawing on your sheets because you do kind of tend to take the cards a little bit and place them and decide if that's the right card or the right placement for those. So it can run a little bit longer. The other thing is that if you like a lot of player interaction, this doesn't have a lot of that. Aside from somebody maybe drafting the card that you wanted, there's not going to be a lot of back and forth between players. Yes, you are vying for the endgame King's Favor bonuses, but ultimately, you're going to be very focused on your own board, and you might either think of those as secondary or you're always working toward them, so in the end, you're all going to be kind of close in who has the most of each thing. But I thought that it was a cool little game. If you like drawing and you like the kind of tile placement of castles, but you want to be able to draw those on the paper instead, then you might want to check this one out. You can see my full thoughts on the blog today.